Okay, this is the how-to for drafting plate 5-2 for engineering drafting, and I'm going to start off just simply by quickly taping down, even though you probably sort of technically don't have to tape down for this plate. Still just a good, good to get in practice of getting it taped down because you are going to be doing more plates where you have to do measurement, and so you want to get in the habit of being able to do that. I'm using these drafting dots. Of course, you have your tape that you have the masking tape at home. So essentially what we're doing here is we're going to be measuring those lines, and I gave a how-to about how to measure. I'm using the architectural scale, okay, and I'm just using the regular inch scale that's on that. I identify that by knowing that it says architect on the scale. I know you probably can't read that, but it says architect, and then I'm finding the side of the scale that has 16 divisions. There's a small 16 there, so that shows me which scale I need to be able to use. Okay, so once again, architect's scale, we're using the side that has the 16 on it. This is just regular inches, okay? And so this matches up with that measuring how-to video that I gave. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do here, once we're taped down, is we will just quickly letter in or draw in some guides for each one of these places that we're lettering, and if you want to use the bottom line there as part of your lettering, you can. Really sort of a better method to do this would be to just simply draw two guidelines real quick at about 3/16 of an inch, so that's good practice for your lettering. I'm just putting in some guidelines on each next to each letter, so that I can letter in my distances, okay? And so in this first one, we're going to measure the length of line A. I'm using my dividers to do this. I know that it seems like you could just simply do it this way. One of the problems with that is really you should not have your scale on the paper all the time like that for measuring and putting your pencil up against it. You also have to lean over the top of it. So gives you some practice in using your dividers to transfer distances. So I'll take that there, and then I'll just bring this over to my scale, and then I'll look at that measurement, and you can see that measurement, that first one, A, is 1.5 inches. And so I'll take my pencil, and I'm going to letter in. There's really not tons of space there, but I'll letter in that 1.5 inches. Now alternatively, on the right hand side of this measurement, what I would like for you to do is also letter in the decimal equivalent to this, to 3 decimal places. And so this is going to cause you to take the fraction, right, and then convert it into decimal units. And so we're going to just put that over there. In fact, if you want to really make it nice, you can set up a couple of guides over here at the same time so that you can letter in that distance. And so I'll do the second one. I'll take my divider, set it up there right on, transfer that over to my measurement, and here I have 2 1/8 of an inch. So I'll letter that in, 2 1/8, and the decimal equivalent of that is 2.125. Okay, you may need to use your calculator to take the measurement here and put it over here. We are not going to put in inches here, okay? There's no need to put those inch marks. The standard on this is to put in a quick little note, and once again, I'll letter in some guidelines for this. You may have to do two lines, but the standard for this is to letter in a note. We put in the words note and then a colon, all dimensions, or you can abbreviate that, as dims in inches. So I'll letter in that message. You can put a little asterisk there if you want. So I lettered in that all the dimensions, I know it's difficult maybe for you to see, it says note, all dims, D-I-M-S, in inches. And so that means for the reader that everything there is obviously in inches. And then don't forget at the end here, we're going to put in a couple of guidelines, and as usual, letter in your name and the date. And that ought to get you taken care of for plate 5-2. I do realize that once you get down to about here or so, looks like line J, that's too long for the divider. So you will have to take your scale, and if you get good, you can turn your scale upside down and just read it from right to left instead of reading from left to right. Okay? All right, good luck with that.